You ever had a vehicle stolen?
Yeah, I had a couple. Tried. I'm like the FBI, man. I'm gonna find that car. I'm like, it's at this house and it hasn't been moved. Like,
What's the monthly on Gold Star? Just so I know.
It's no monthly. It's a one-time flat rate, $150.
So what was the inspiration behind that? One, choosing to go to a HBCU, then two, getting into entrepreneurship?
That's a great question. For me, cared to go to HBCU first, but then I started doing research, and I also like the movie Drumline and Stomp the Yard, so I was kind of familiar with the South college atmosphere.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go do a mastermind in Puerto Rico together. So a community is so important. I can't wait to build that up.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you can get a no-doc loan from KeyBank. I didn't.
What made you say, you know what, I'm already mentally ready to be in a marriage, knowing that you're going to be potentially having your way and being able to do whatever you want?
I'm 27 right now, so for me, I got married at 26. So I feel like for me, I have my time where I understand what I want and what I don't want. When you at millions of dollars and now you trying to look for love, you know, they sometimes they don't be for you. They're not built to help you. They just kind of want to take. You want somebody to pour into you as well. Y'all can grow together.
Do you believe that this person deserves half of your income?
Yes, because she helped me get it. Absolutely, she deserves half.
Okay, so you wouldn't do a prenup, nothing like that?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't got one.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, welcome to the Digital Brandz Podcast, where we interview entrepreneurs, influencers, and entertainers with digital brands online. Today, we got my guy.
Hey man, I'm KD from Jersey City, New Jersey. I moved out to Atlanta 2 years ago, man. I'm tapped into the credit repair business and car rental business. I got over 40 cars here in Atlanta. I'm doing very well. Rent my cars out privately. I don't use no platforms, no tour.
Okay. Expound on the Uber thing. It sounds like you're saying that that's your preference for people driving Uber. Is that what you're saying?
Yep. Yeah. So drive Uber. So most of my clients, they use the car to actually make money. They don't just use the cars to go to work, to Amazon or something like that. Usually, if they actually using Amazon Flex, they'll use my car. They doing DoorDash, Uber Eats, they'll use my car. Gig workers, those are the type of people that's going to keep the car and they're going to take care of it. They're going to make sure they got to eat. So they're going to pay me every day to make sure that they keep the car, they can keep making money to feed their families. So that's the type of market I like to serve.
And usually when we have a target audience, which is essentially what you're talking about as your target audience, it's because we got some horror stories.
Yeah.
So what brought you to that point where you mentally was like, yo, this is who I want to mess with. This is who I want to rent my car out to. Or did you come in the game already fully equipped and knew that you wanted to go down that route?
So a little bit of both. So I had mentors that kind of showed me what was working and what was not working. And I always like to learn from others' mistakes. So I was like, I'd rather do what's working. So for me, I kind of knew, Uber and Lyft drivers are going to be my go-to market. However, jumping off the porch, when you start in the game, you kind of just like, I need to make this money. I got to get this car rented because I had a car note. I got insurance. I got all these expenses that you can't sit on a car. So I'm just like, all right, I'm just going to find anybody. I'm not really caring if this person does Uber or Lyft. I just need to get this car out. Yeah. And those are the type of people that when you try to hurry up and get the car out and not vetting and understanding the customer, they're like, hey, I'm just going to work every day. Those type of people that stop paying, they go over state lines because I don't let nobody go out of state. So they go over state lines because, God forbid something happens. Not only you got to go get it, but now it's like a problem because like you got to it's money involved. So I can't if you, let's say they drove to Texas. Yeah. You tow from Texas is going to cost you a fortune. Yeah. Me flying, trying to find a car is going to be extra time and money. And insurance, they might say, why the car in Texas? Now you might have complications in getting your claims covered if they do get into an accident in Texas. So those are the horror stories that for me, somebody took my car to Minnesota. I was tight because Minnesota is just it's so far. They even go fly, they go grab it to drive down.
Oh, so they didn't bring it right back. They
were
just chilling it, or they were just chilling it.
They was chilling it. They was chilling. So they took it out there to just do an errand, and the errand became a week, then 2 weeks, and then it's like, hold on.
Were they paying you?
They was paying me, but they started reducing payments. So let's say my payment was like $80 a day, whatever. They was paying $30, $20. I'm like, yo, this ain't it. I'm like, hey, you gotta bring the car back. Hey, I can't. I need to work out here. I'm like, no. They're like, this is too much. So I had to end up actually paying that person to come back. I learned from real estate people that I know, they pay somebody to get out the property because Because like if they just stay in a property, it's going to just lose value. They're not paying your rent anyway. Like, hey, I'll pay you to get out. So I told her, hey, man, I'll give you $300 to come drive back. So
did you do that just off of your own cognizance of your mind, or did you do like some research? Like, was it any type of legal recourse you could have did? Like maybe you called an authority, or is it just you rented your car out and it is what it is? You willingly gave this person permission, so it's nothing that you can do.
Well, it's something you could do. You take them to small claims courts, but that just takes forever. They might not have no money. It's just time consuming. Honestly, you might not even have the right address. You know, they might have an old address. You know, so until they get served, you know, you kind of still SOL out of a car. So for me, I said, you know, like I told about the real estate, I heard a lot of horror stories of people that have family dwellings and people like renting their houses out to regular tenants and they stop paying and, you know, they hit the squatters. Hey, they can't kick them out. It takes years to kick them out or months. I learned that, you know, it might be easier and cheaper to just pay them. Say, here's $2,000 to, you know, just get out. So I took the same idea or concept is like, you know, let me just see what happens if I offer her $300 to come back, because she's trying to make money. Obviously she's not making enough, so it's like, all right, here's $300, and she said okay. So I gave her half to leave and then half when she was like midway, like in Missouri or something. And then came back to Georgia.
I went through the same thing, bro. I was I had bought an Escalade. This was before the whole Turo thing like went crazy. When everybody was doing it, I was renting out cars. One of the early adopters of renting out cars in the A. And I rented out this Escalade to a guy that's like one of the biggest podcasters right now in the world right now. At the time, he wasn't. And I rented out an Escalade to him, and he was trying to get more established with his brand. And they went on the road, and they went to New York.
Okay.
Him and his team, right? I got the tracker. I was using Drone Mobile because, you know, we got to have the trackers on there. So Drone Mobile was my favorite at the time. So I'm looking at the truck traveling up the East Coast. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What is going on? So I call them. They like, oh yeah, bro, we got a show. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, yo, bring my truck back right now. I'm thinking they stole it because at the time the guy he was on his way.
Yeah, he wasn't there yet.
He wasn't there yet. He was on his way. So I was like, I did something off the relationship. I took money, but I was like, yeah, bro about to be out of here. And you always hope when a person gets out of here that they remember you. But you acting like you don't right now. But that's a whole nother story.
Right.
But I seen that the car was in New York, and I'm like, yo, I'm hitting them up. And it took almost like a week, bro. And I didn't even know that was something that I, you know, to think about was to offer him some bread to come back, because I was ready to just get at him for real.
Yeah,
like,
but did you have a kill switch at least? Like
I didn't have the kill switch on there, bro.
Okay.
So I know you can get the upgraded plan with Drone where you can then do the kill switch.
Okay.
So I know it's like I had the cheaper plan, so you only had tracking.
Okay.
But then the upgraded plan, you had the kill switch. So that was my second problem I had with that Escalade. I actually had it stolen one time too, and that Drone saved my life.
Oh, it was tracking it.
It was tracking it. Found it on the west side.
Oof.
You ever had a vehicle stolen?
Yeah, I had a couple. Tried. I'm like the FBI, man. I'm gonna find that car, because it's like $35,000 in loans. Like these cars are not cheap. Because it was a Honda Accord. I don't know. I guess these guys in Atlanta try to fake rent it out, but then my friend stole it, and then I don't know where my friend took it. I actually ran down and I kind of tracked it to this place. I called the police, like, hey, I know where my car at, because it was locked in like somebody's house, like a garage. And I'm like, this is the house. Like the car is here. It's telling me.
It's telling you it's here.
I use Gold Star GPS tracker, and it's a kill switch. So it was already kill switch and everything, but I'm like, it's at this house, and it hasn't been moved for like.
What's the monthly on Gold Star? Just so I know.
It's no monthly. It's a one-time flat rate, $150.
Okay, that's hard.
Yeah. So I get those installed. And then, so I told the cops, like, hey, the car's in here.
Yeah.
It's like, well, we can't really just go in. I'm like, bro, my car's in here. What do you mean you can't just go knock on the door or something? So it was actually like a vacant Airbnb. They was actually gonna. So prior to, they said this building was actually used as like a place where they steal cars. They had like 3 cars found there last week, and I guess they found it. They tracked it, and they got those cars. And they arrested some people. But I guess they didn't learn their lesson and still use the same house. It's stupid. So they actually end up like, you know what? Nah, this is a house that they do that. So they actually end up helping me get my vehicle back. So they kind of opened it up.
That's dope.
And gave it to me.
That's dope. That was just, I think that's because a lot of times I hear with ADP, especially, is that's like they can choose whether they want to pursue auto theft, right? Because there's so many other bigger issues going on. So that's pretty dope that they show love to actually. That's hard. That's hard. Okay. All right. What do you would think? Like, what do you think made you want to be a businessman? Like, I know I was like looking at you. You went to one of the first black HBCUs, right? So was it something in school? Was it like inspiring, like seeing successful black people around you? Like you chose to go to an HBCU, right?
Yep.
So what was the inspiration behind that? One, choosing to go to an HBCU, then two, getting into entrepreneurship?
That's a great question. For me, I honestly, two ways to answer this question. I was trying to look for scholarships to play football in high school. So at the time, I really was trying to go big time D1. So I didn't really care to go to HBCU first. But then I started doing research, and I also like the movie Drumline and Stomp the Yard. So I was kind of familiar with the South college atmosphere. And I was like, you know what? Because I had a couple offers, but they wasn't full offers. That means full scholarship. I was getting like half room and board scholarships. Just, at my time, I didn't have no money growing up. So I'm like, I'm going to a school that paid me the most. And HBCU paid everything. School, board, food, like gave me a laptop. So it was like 100% I'm going there. So that's the HBCU school that I was like, you know what, I'm just going to rock with. Division II. It was fun. I didn't really know too much about business, but I knew I always had a knack for it. In high school, I started selling candy just to make a couple dollars. Just selling I'll go to BJ's at night and just sell it for like $1. I used to make like $60 a day, which is great money.
Oh, you going crazy?
In school, you feel me? I'm in school with mad cash.
Oh, you probably had all the chicks. I already know.
Oh, man. Nah, man. It's more so about the money.
You weren't thinking about that? Okay. I just want to test you. That was a test.
Yeah, that was a test. Nah, yeah. Because I'm a money man. I feel like the money is the most important thing because it's just stability for me. Like, my life, my mom really had too much stability in my household. So, for me, I was like, my dad always pushed me to always make sure that you have everything that you need for yourself. Everything else will come, like success, woman, everything else will always come. But you got to make sure that you're personally developing to be the best you can be, so those opportunities can be afforded to you. So that's kind of how I took my approach to life. I knew I had to get that scholarship to play football. I knew I had to sell candy at the time to make money, so I could pay for prom and all that good stuff. And then when I stepped into the college atmosphere, I knew I always wanted to be a business major because I feel like businessmen always had made the most money. I mean, you either got doctors, lawyers, or businessmen. For me, for what I seen, or like rappers, athletes. Other than like if you're doing that, at the time I wanted to play in the NFL, but I also knew that because this is when the YouTube was like, how you play in the NFL, you broke and all this other stuff. Like,
you said what? The YouTube what?
Like in YouTube, I used to always see like how NFL players become broke.
Oh, so you was watching the videos?
Yeah, I was watching
like
videos.
After NFL.
Football, yeah, I'd be like, man.
I think the average time span of NFL player was like 4 years. I think I read this somewhere.
Yeah, they had 4 or 5 years, something like that. But then after they be like, they'll go bankrupt. I'm like, how? I'm like, nah. I need to figure out how to make money and keep it. So I always knew that business was going to be a part of me, and I was always naturally good at it, like charismatic. I know how to sell. So for me, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just do business major. I actually got an internship at an insurance company my freshman year of college, right after the football season, and that kind of set me up to put me in a corporate environment. So not only I was getting like entrepreneurship with my own like sales stuff, like with the candy and stuff like that, but I also now got real life business office corporate environment with people that I never worked with before. So that kind of opened me up and really personally developed me more than anything I can imagine. That's a different world.
It's a different world. And you're pretty young to have your MBA because traditionally it's recommended that you get out into the workforce to actually, figure out more about life, get relationships, figure out what plays, your strengths, your weaknesses before you go and get an MBA. So what was like the inspiration behind that? Like doing it so early without getting out into the world and actually getting those real world application?
That's a great question. So for me, I knew that I wanted to be the best at whatever I did. So after football, I didn't make it to NFL. I just put all my energy into corporate insurance. And I feel like what I've seen around the people that get hired, they actually have like designations. They have the MBAs. They have like, credentials behind their name. So I just wanted to be the best. So I'm like, in order to beat everybody, I got to do things faster than everybody. So if I do that, then I'll get a better shot than you. So that was my mindset.
Just having it on the resume.
Yeah. So for me, I did the 1 year MBA program, fast tracked it. I did it on weekends and nights. while I was working full time.
You was playing football. You was working full time. You was football, and you was going for your MBA.
No. So
okay.
In college, I wasn't going crazy like that. I had 3 jobs in college, so I would do school, my internship, and I do like Wawa at night and go football practice. So I was always like one of the people that just always needed something to do. And then while I worked full time, no school, I did full time for a little bit. I did all the insurance designations for like a year or 2. Then I went got my MBA full time while I was in school. While I was working, and then I went Saturdays and nights. So I did like that.
So Slump, you interrupting this good video. I was just about to get in my bag. This better be good.
But Kobe, how many times do I have to tell you we cannot be greedy? We can't have all the money.
Ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. So a lot of people want to know what is digital brand. So what we do is we help creators monetize online, helping them with their systems, their processes, their flows, and their offer. So that's going to help you increase more leads, which increases more sales. And as long as you got leads, you will never be poor. So if you're enjoying this episode and you want to create your own digital brand, all you got to do is click the link below and book a call. We'll show you how we can help you take that business, that brand, and that bank account to the next level so you'll never be broke again.
So let me get this right. To turn up, I need to book a call. What do I need to do?
They just need to book a call. We might even let them on the Digital Brand Show. But listen, get back to the episode, and if we don't see you at the top,
we'll see you from the top. Book a call.
Book a call. Get back to the show. Yeah, you working 3 jobs. Yeah. 3 jobs with the how was you got time for practice? Was you like that? Was you really good?
Yeah, I was a 4-year starter.
Oh, okay.
I was a 4-year starter, and I was all conference DN linebacker.
Okay.
Division II football, and I was young because I got in college when I was 17, so I was a baby amongst grown men for real. So for me, I just don't like wasting time. I never did.
Yeah.
I don't like, and I always looked at people like Kobe's my favorite basketball player, and he always with his mindset. That Mamba mentality, just making sure I outwork everybody. So I didn't really waste too much time. Like I every hour was accounted for. So like while people sleep in or smoke, from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. I'm booked. 6 a.m. to 9, I've been working out. 9 a.m. to 1, I was at my internship. 1 to 5, I went to class, and 5 to 7 practice. 7 to 9 gym. 9 to 12, I'm chilling playing video games. You know what I'm saying? Like that was my schedule. And I just kept that up without my life. Because you have a lot of time, but people don't utilize their time because they just BS time. Like, I don't know how people can BS time. I know how much hours I got in a day. Even if I work a 9 to 5 job today, I got 5 to 7 maybe workout, 7 to 9 maybe I eat, 9 to 12, what you doing? Watching TV? I don't watch TV.
That's a different type of discipline. And when you speak about that, it's, in my mind, I want to accredit to you being in, being athletic, being in sports, and being a person who maybe had a coach or a regiment that was assigned to you. Were you always like that? You saying like since you were a kid, or do you think the actual sports made you like that, like mentally? And also, how did that affect you in business? Do you feel like the sports, the discipline of you having to wake up at a certain time, having to be able to eat a certain type of food, right? Having to look a certain type of way, being able to run a certain speed, all of this stuff, that also help you in business? So it's a 2-part question.
Yeah, so my dad had me in sports since I was 7, so I feel like it was kind of ingrained in me. Like after school, you just go to practice. After practice, you eat. After you eat, I play video games. So like that schedule was like every day. So and then Fridays, like it depends on like how old I was. Like you might have a game on Friday night, you might have a game on Sunday. You rest Saturday. So like you're pretty regimented.
It's real.
And then right, and then after football, maybe I played basketball. I did baseball. Like I was always playing a sport. So like it was just built in me. And then to the second part of the question, the business definitely translate because I noticed a lot of people in corporate are lazy. Like they're not using their time. Like they just want to go home. They work 9 to 5 and that's it. And I think that's why I did so well, not only in corporate, because I moved up really fast in corporate, but I also did really well in entrepreneurship because I never took my time for granted and I always use my time. So if I work from 9 to 5, I'm always working from 5 to 9 or something. I got paid at least 3 to 4 hours, whatever I'm doing on the entrepreneurship side so I can get better. So for me, that's kind of how I always had that motor. And I always naturally got that motor. I don't get tired. Like they'll tell you, like on the basketball court, I don't get tired. Football, I don't get tired. So I don't know. I've been blessed with also a high energy motor on top of the discipline. So that's kind of like super excel my results.
Man, when you say that you don't get tired, I was talking to the homie. We were talking about working out. And he said something to me. He's like, man, Jacoby, you ain't working out hard. I was like, why you say that? He said, have you ever thrown up working out? Like being, and I was like, nah, I never thrown up. He said, that's why I know you ain't worked out hard enough. And I was like, that's your barometer of how hard. But he's like, yeah, bro, when you play for a sports team or you trying out to be a starter or be a starter in football, it's gonna be to a point where you're gonna work out so hard, you're gonna get past that point where you mentally feel like I can't do anymore, and you're gonna pass the limits of your body, and your body's gonna basically puke. So
I don't know about that. I'm gonna say no.
No?
I never threw up.
Okay,
but I'm not.
You ain't worked out hard enough. I'm gonna tell you what he said.
I'm not a throw up person.
Okay.
Like while we were running the track and when we first come back after like the spring and we'll come to football camp summer, we'll do like sprint tests and all that, like conditioning tests. Everybody, I don't throw up. I don't know how. Like I don't know. My body just don't throw up. So I don't think that matters. And I push harder than most people.
Okay.
I was also a wrestler too. So like even then, wrestling practice was the hardest practice of my life. But I never threw up.
Never threw up.
I don't think throwing up matters.
Okay.
I think it's about just effort.
I like that you said that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that because he said it. He made me think like, dang, have I not worked out hard enough?
Everybody don't throw up.
All right, cool. So this was all happening in your hometown around, was this like Jersey, Philly? Because
no, this is Philly. This is so my school is Cheney University. It's outside of Philly, like an hour. So I started in Jersey, got recruited, had a scholarship. Then I moved to Philly, and I never went back to Jersey at 17. Then I dormed there 4 years, graduated, stayed out there until 2021, and then I came out to Atlanta in 2020 in October. So I've been here for 2 years now.
You turned up since you got in Atlanta.
Turned up, man.
Would you recommend somebody getting out of their hometown to level up?
Absolutely, man. Environment plays is everything. Honestly, I was strategic. I knew I was coming to Atlanta because I went to a conference, a recession-proof conference in Miami, and it changed my life because I met so many black entrepreneurs that was doing their thing in Atlanta, and I'm like, man, I gotta come. So I told my job helped me get promoted and move to Atlanta. I told I already knew who the people I was gonna meet with when I came to Atlanta. I was like, I already know who my mentor's gonna be. I'm gonna find them and I'm gonna bump into them. And it all happened the same way I thought it out. So I was very strategic about getting out of my environment because I was in Westchester, Pennsylvania, and anybody know Westchester, Pennsylvania is real suburb, real rich, wealthy. It's really good just to live a life and have a family and call it quits. But that was not for people that's really wanting to get out here and make millions of dollars. Because first of all, nobody's gonna know you because ain't nobody really holding your hand. It's just and then you look weird for doing entrepreneurship out there. It's what are you doing? So you had to get into an environment where you get high level people, entrepreneurs that could teach you the game, just give you some gems, how to open business bank accounts. All that is naturally in Atlanta because a lot of people are doing entrepreneurship. It look like it's normal. Yeah. Whereas everywhere else in the world, from what I see, it ain't normal. It's man, everybody working 9 to 5. Everybody just work. They don't do nothing extra. So I wanted to get around the players that they do entrepreneurship because I knew that if I just get a little bit of that sauce mixed with the corporate sauce, I'm gonna be cool.
Yeah, because then you got structure. So I always say that about myself too. I've been able to build a successful business with me and my business partner with no college background, no college degree. And recently, the last couple of years, I was like, damn, imagine how cold I would have been if I would have went to school to learn a lot of this, actual business structure. Because I look back at my career and what I've been able to do and how much money I made. But I said, if I would have knew more about business, I'd be up 10X, you know what I'm saying? Because I was a creative. But being a creative, I didn't necessarily structure business the right way a lot of times on the back end, And now mentally, it's I need the front end and back. I understand my power. I understand my leverage. I understand experience. So with having that college background, I feel like I would have really knew more when I seen something. I've been more perceptive with it, right? So a lot of people shit on college. A lot of people shit on going to school. But education, for me, is the most important thing ever. And then having a structured counselor. They say, hey, if you can't teach you how to be rich, but you can teach me something. I've never been a person to think just because this person will make X amount of dollars that they can't teach me something, right? So I like how you said, you talk about how the corporate and how they help shift your mind and helping you with your entrepreneurship. And one of the things I always advocate for is that your 9 to 5 should be your first business partner.
Right.
right? So with having that 9 to 5, it sounds like you having a 9 to 5 and you doing your thing in the entrepreneurship world.
Right.
How would you say that's benefiting your entrepreneurship, or are you just ready to get up out of there? Like, what is it?
I got an interesting story, man. So, I was working remote in Wall Street, New York, for the past year and a couple months. I was remote, so I didn't have as much like, gotta go to the office. I didn't have much obligations. My job wasn't like as strict at the time, and that's when I was running it up. I went from 4 to 40 cars this year, like 2022. To 2023.
What? 4 to 40 cars.
I went from 4 to 40 cars in the past year. And I did that with a job, a remote job that gave me a little bit more flexibility than most jobs would. And during that point in time, I was grinding so much, and I realized that I have enough money or enough income coming in where I'm like, man, I think I can quit my job because I don't need it no more. Like I'm getting paid every day, and I don't need my job. I was a 6-figure job in Wall Street, and I quit. I quit. It was the most scariest thing I did in my life because I'm like, what am I doing? This is my stability.
Entrepreneur broke nigga. You went to entrepreneur broke nigga.
I just kind of like jumped off and was like, you know what? I'm doing it though. Like I was like, I'm making double what I'm making at my job.
I love that.
So I'm like, I can do it. But until you do it, it's always a theory. So I wanted to see if I could really do it. So when I did it, I was terrified. I was like, man, I don't know how I'm going to pay bills. Like, I don't know how I'm going to save. Like, you know, because it's a difference between, like, when you got a 9 to 5, like, I know this money is going to come regardless. That 9 to 5 is like, what if this happened? Like, I started, just having fear. Like, what if my car is all just whatever? Like, I just like, man. Crazy thing, I had my best month last month in October. I reached $50,000 in revenue. And the reason I think it's because I definitely was focused on the cars only, but I already built the system where I didn't need to do as much because I already built it. I've been building it all year. So it makes sense that my cars would do this well because I've been building it so over the whole past year. But it was crazy to see the numbers, but it was also crazy to see that I could sustain myself. I actually took my job back because I got bored. Because with the car rental industry, for me, the way I structure it is very passive. So like once I get a car out, it's gone for months. So like,
is it the Uber Play? Or is it just this?
It's the Uber Play.
Okay,
it's the Uber Play. So I give it to an Uber driver. They keep it for months. So let's say I have 4 cars and I rent those 4 out. I don't see those cars. What I'm gonna do every day? I'm making money every day, but I'm not doing anything 9 to 5 or you know what I'm saying. I don't have a purpose other than I do credit repair. But that's I have a VAs. I have a system for that. I like to build the systems. So those systems help me automate the business, which I don't have to do much. So I started getting bored. I'm like, man, I have a lot of time and I have a lot of freedom. I also have money. So that's what most people want. So I enjoyed it for 2 months, but I wanted to get back to the structure of a corporate because I feel like that structure, it feels good. I don't know. It's something about climbing a corporate ladder because I feel like entrepreneurship gets easier the more money you have. And the more money you have, the more you can put things in place where once you got the system built, like now I got the cars already. All I got to do, if I want more cars, all I do is pitch it to another investor. If I want to teach people, now I can teach people the game. Like I'm saying, like I already built it up. So I don't have to go hard no more. But without you building it up first, that's when people, the hardest part is building it up. It's like when they say your first 100,000 is the hardest because like I had to build it up. But now you got 100,000. Now you can invest it. Now you can do so much with it. You can get the
systems. You can get more creative.
Correct.
I seen a tweet and it talked about if you can get your car notes and your rent out of the way, that's when you're going to be able to really blossom, right? Because those are your 2 biggest expenses, and your mind can't even compute properly because you're so concerned about those bills. You have you have predicted bills, but not predicted income.
Right.
Right. So when you get to the point where you can get those 2 things out of the way, you can really get into your superpowers. You can be, the ultimate player for the most part, right?
That's true.
So that's you definitely speaking the gospel, man. And how would you suggest somebody gets there to that point where, let's say, they're at a 9 to 5, they have some capital, maybe, let's say $10,000 saved up, right? Because starting from scratch, and I don't want to say going broke, starting from zero, because if you're starting from zero,
you got a lot of problems.
Now I blame it on the IG. Not IG meaning Instagram, IG meaning information gap.
Okay.
Right? It's their desired situation versus their current situation, right? And it's they don't know this info to get to here.
Right.
So it's like you need to go learn and get smarter And then you can afford to try to go to the next level because you essentially are talking about, yo, bro, I'm making money that allows me to pay for systems, that allows me to, look a certain type of way for an investor to even trust me with their vehicle, right? And I want to dwell a little bit more into that. You talked about 4 to 40. I know you ain't got that on your credit.
No, absolutely not. I learned the system called joint ventures. That's why I partner up with people. I have the idea, I have the play, I have the know-how, I have the systems, but I don't want to pay all my credit. But I have investors that are willing to put it on their credit that I utilize, and I kind of just scale by pitching them, closing them, and showing them that they can make money with me. And I just did that at a high level. My social media, my social proof, my actual numbers, like all that came into play. Like when I pitched something, I always thought about, like, I used to watch like Shark Tank. Like they're pitching their idea to these guys and like, hey, do you want to invest in me? Yeah, give me this % equity or give me this deal. So I kind of took the same approach. Like I'm gonna just show you my business. I'm gonna pitch it to you, and if you invest in me, you make money. So I feel that's why, like as I said, all the business
That's the NBA coming in
exactly. All the business correlates. It's like all business is business. Yeah. So it's like if I could pitch enough people, I can predict how much money I can make. And that's what I kept doing. I'm like, all right, I'm just keep pitching. I might get 8 cars this month, 6 cars that month, 5 cars this month. And it just kept coming because everybody wants a piece of the pie. Everybody wants another income. Everybody wants side income, but everybody don't got the time, the resources, or know-how. I didn't pay my mentorships. I didn't took my lumps. I didn't have my experience. It's going to take them forever to do that on top of having the heart to even jump off the porch. Because it's like, bro, I'm not even in Atlanta. And I tell another thing, I'm blessed by being in Atlanta. If I was in New Jersey, it's a lot of public transportation. They got Easy Pass. They got toll. Like it's harder to run a car rental business as good as in Atlanta.
So with you putting the word out there with all these people, you sharing about getting into this industry, doesn't that water it down and make it more saturated? And I say that because me and one of the homies, somebody we mutually know, when he first was doing this course, I was pissed. Because I'm like, yo, bro, you messing up the clients. Like, you putting everybody on. And he told me something that really messed my mind up. He's like,
what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Jacoby, man, and I want to talk to y'all about the elephant in the room. I know you're trying to figure out how to get consistent sales online. I know you want to travel the world while getting payment notifications, but you haven't figured out how to stop working in your business versus working on your business. So listen, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to teach you guys my 3-step scaling horizontal method on how I help my clients get consistent sales online. The only thing you should be asking yourself is, how do I get started today? So listen, this is what I want you to do. I want you to click the link above. I want you to book a call. When you book a call, we are going to be asking you qualifying questions just to make sure that our synergies match. And if our synergies match, then we can actually foster a relationship and help you change your business impact online, right? So the goal is to take your business from being ashy to classy. So if you're ready to tap in with Digital Brandz so you can get wrapped in, make sure you click the link above. We're ready to help you and your bank account go to the next level. Let's go. We're out.
bro, you got a scarcity mindset.
I'm gonna say definitely a scarcity mindset when they come to that. It's not saturated. I have more demand for cars than I have cars, even at 40 cars plus. So even to this day, I got people hitting me up for cars, and I'm like, bro, I don't got a car. I don't got a car. It's so many. Think about it, especially in Atlanta, there's so much people without cars because not only right now in this market, it's hard. It's inflation. You need great credit. Like the average car note is $700 with good credit. Imagine you got bad credit. You need a down payment. Your car note on a Corolla might be $900. You need a lot of cash. Like a lot of people don't have that. So I'm giving people a way to play early. Like you need to feed your family today. You ain't got $5,000 cash to put down. You ain't got good credit. You need to feed your family by doing this DoorDash today. I can provide those opportunities for you. So it's so many people that don't want to work. A lot of people don't got the education. A lot of people can't even get hired at a job. A lot of people, they got felonies, they got whatever, but they could probably do Uber, they could probably do Lyft, DoorDash, or whatever hustle they could do with the vehicle. But if nobody never give them a chance with a car, they're never going to do it. So it's so many people that need that chance than it is actual cars because it's hard to get a car. It's hard to have somebody go and back out $35,000 loans and put them on the road for you to rent out. Most people that got cars, they driving them. So I feel like it's not even that much people out here. It's not even that much competition, to be honest. Even when I got customers, I'm like, hey, bro, you got an economy car? No, I don't got nothing. Nobody don't got no cars.
So if anything, I'm bringing the cars to the market in Atlanta. I think that's why another reason I'm so successful because a lot of people don't even bring the cars to this market. I don't know why, but I'm gonna keep bringing them.
Okay, and you doubled down on my scarcity mindset. I thought you was gonna be on my side because we was in the room, but I like you kept it real. But he ended up doing some numbers. That's crazy that you say that. Like when he same way that you're explaining it, of you are so successful because you have this abundance mindset of putting everybody on. The same thing happened to this guy. Like he put everybody else on and it just made his car rental company even bigger. Right. So as that being said, it goes into even the theme of our show. Like you were able to do that with building a digital brand. Mm-hmm. So as building this digital brand and getting all of these things like mentorships and learning how to be able to articulate yourself, right? How did that affect your business with you being able to start sharing the game online and social media and putting yourself out there for potentially ridicule, potentially, people like just saying negative things about what you got going on, like,
Yeah, for me, I mean, I don't really care what people say online. The reason why I say that, like, I care about, helping people because at the end of the day, the people that sometimes talk bad about people online, they don't even help nobody. And I remember when I was in Jersey City, nobody came and reached out to me. All we knew was sports. It's like nobody talked about business, nobody talked about nothing. So it's like, I'm helping somebody. And my DMs tell me that I'm helping somebody. I'm helping giving people an idea that they don't have to do everybody else. They don't got to sell drugs. They don't got to play ball. They don't got to be an entertainer. You can literally be a businessman and make money, like real money without putting your life on the line or going to jail. So like whoever is online is hating or trying to say, oh, this doesn't work, this doesn't work. Man, help somebody do something because there's a lot of people that's not even doing nothing. If everybody do nothing and nobody don't help nobody, where the world gonna go? You're gonna just leave people stranded. And I don't want to leave people stranded because there's too many people that's left stranded. I was probably one of them kids that got left stranded. Luckily, I had a God-given talent for football, or I'll probably be back in the city. I don't know what I'll be doing. Like, it's hard. I was always smart, but like smart don't always get you where you need to be. You know what I'm saying? It's really about who you know and really getting out the environment. Because, like, especially in, like, big cities, like, you can get lost in the sauce very easily. A lot of distractions, a lot of things pulling you in a bad direction. Crabs in a barrel. Like, everybody like, nah, like, that's not a good idea, pulling you down. Now you never try. So, for me, it's like, the bad stuff. I don't really get too much bad stuff, to be honest. But if I was to ever get it, I would say, man, what are you doing with your life? And how are you helping others? And depends on what they answers, they kind of talk to themselves. Like,
talking to themselves. Just telling what they're talking about.
Yeah.
So what do you have to say to the people that say mentorship's a scam?
I would say, man, that's false, man. The only reason I'm here today from getting all this this money, like, think about a kid from Jersey City making $50K in revenue in business. Like, even when I work corporate and I'm in my head thinking, like, I know all y'all salaries, but I make more than y'all in real life. Like, I make more. I probably make more than my salary because I'm up there. But in real life, my business is doing way more than what you bring at home every day. Because when you're in corporate, you only get paid twice a month. Even like after taxes, everything like that, like you get hit. Like, I don't care how much you can get paid $200,000 on a salary and still not live like how I'm living because the cash flow difference is crazy. The cash flow, I'm getting paid faster than you. You got to wait twice a month. I don't have to wait. I got my money now. So for me, like, I understand money. And I just think that mentorship was the reason why I understand the money the way I do, because I never thought I was able to afford design. I never thought I could go on vacation. I never thought I could do all these things by not having a mentor. You'll never even get exposed to these things. And you're always going to think like, oh, that's a scam, or that ain't right, or that's fake. Try it, right? It's like, do something. Like, I hate people that just sit and idle. Like, you sitting on the bench, you ain't playing, bro. You can't talk to me. You're not in the field.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a starter. I play. I'm a jumper. If I get hit, I get hit. But at least I tried. Yeah. Y'all don't never try, and then y'all live an average life looking at others. I can't stand people that just watch other people all day. Like, we already watch a lot of people on social media. We already watch a lot of people on TV. We watch all our lives. We watch. When are you going to play and you going to get yours? When are you going to get yours? Mike Tyson says he got you. Like, I don't know where I've heard it, but on YouTube, somebody was like, Mike Tyson was like, he got your championship belt. Like,
Yeah.
What's the difference between me and him and you? Like, go knock him out and take what you what you get. Take what you deserve. That's kind of how I want to live my life. Like, what's the difference between me and him? Why can't I live like that? Why can't I get me a Rolls Royce?
Yeah.
How do I get that? And my job, like you said, information gap, is to find out what he did to get that Rolls Royce and do it myself. But a lot of people just want to sit and watch others and let their life pass by. I'm not one of them people.
Do you think there's a big difference between seeing it on TV, seeing it on your timeline versus actually coming to a city like the A and seeing all of these people that look like you riding around in those cars that you're talking about, you know, got the ice, got the women, got the places, like you think that exposure helped you like grind for it harder, or were you just already mentally there? And then what you say is a totality for most people, right? Do you feel like they need to be exposed to even want to desire some of these things? Like,
I was mentally ready because I always wanted to be rich because I wanted to make it to NFL. So like my mind was always like, I already knew what type of money come with the NFL. So I was ready to be rich. However, when I didn't make it NFL, I had to find another way. So coming to the A, definitely exposure helps because like you can see it, I can touch it, I can obtain it, I'm around, I can rub elbows with the same people that are driving the Rolls Royce that got the ice in. Like, wow. And honestly, you follow their story, you listen to their game, you get mentored by them. You probably could follow the same steps. Success leaves clues. So for me, I'm like, man, I gotta do it. For me, I always talk with my wife. I'm like, we talk about when we get in the cabins. If we lived in the cabins, I wouldn't care about no ice. I wouldn't care about no Rolls Royce because I don't see it every day. Who cares? The people at Walmart, they're gonna be like, oh, he got ice on. Who cares? Like, it's not as attractive because you're in the mountains. Nobody cares that you got all the ice and Rolls Royce.
Don't even matter.
So for me, it's like when you're in Atlanta, it's like, oh. Yeah. They putting it on. Or they got Dior. So that exposure is like, oh, I want that too. Because it's important. And you can see when it's important, people like that and attract others. And it's nice. That's why people love the TV, the reality TV. Yeah. The Real Wives House of Atlanta, all that reality TV stuff, VH1. Yeah. They love it because it's like, wow, it's exciting. But if you lived in the cabins in secluded neighborhood or even suburbs, it's kind of like, nobody cares.
Nobody cares about it. No, you're 100% correct. I talk about that a lot of times. Like if you go to like Europe, nobody cares about your designer or your ice or what you got going on. If anything, you just, you're looking like a peacock, right? Yeah. Where you're standing out almost too much, and it's like, hey, you're doing a little bit too much.
Right.
Right. Yeah. And then being in the A is like the totally opposite. Yeah, you're getting attention, but a lot of positivity comes with that, or a lot of negativity comes with that too.
That's true.
Right. So with you, being a person who's putting that shit on, is it some negativity that's coming with all of this stuff, or is it just nothing but good vibes where people want to vibe with you?
It's definitely, so I come from a city, so I know how to move inside of a city. You'll never really catch me out and about like that. If you ever catch me putting that issue on, it's going to be at like events that's networking, other high level entrepreneurs. I'm not just going to any regular place. I avoid places. I kind of got to pick my hours, pick my choices wise. I just try to move smart. Any neighborhood, any place you go, if you're in Africa, you're going to try to move smart. You're not trying to move crazy. So I think I just take that mentality from the city where I'm from and just take it here. So I really don't have no negativity about it. And most people I'm around are high-level entrepreneurs. So it's all positivity because you see me got that issue on and you got that issue on. Hey, let's connect. Let's work. Let's do business.
So you're really intentional about the rooms that you in? Very
intentional. I don't really move. Like I said, go back to that time thing. I really don't like wasting time. So if I'm going to go somewhere, I'm going to be strategic about it.
Makes sense.
I'm going to make sure that it's worth my while.
Makes sense. And you touched on mentorship in strategy and being strategic. With mentorship, because you obviously, you said you paid for mentorship before to level up. Now you're offering mentorship.
Correct.
So how does one gauge if you're being a good mentor, being that it's, subjective? Like, how do you gauge, one, you being a person that's a mentee and then also being a mentor? Because I've done mentorships before in the past. And if I didn't have sometimes like clear objectives of what needed to happen, and a person essentially probably paid me 5 figures, a lot of money, whatever, and then they feel like they own you, but it's like at the end of the day, one, that ain't nothing.
Right.
And then 2 is it just starts there. You got to spend way more than this. I didn't wasted so much bread in the IP that I'm going to give you. This is hundreds of thousands of dollars of knowledge of the mistakes that I'm going to save you, right? So how do you decide that you are providing value to a mentee? Because there's a lot of people even the term of thinking mentorship's a scam is because people out here don't even know how to give the value properly.
Right.
And then two, like I said, it's a 2-part question. When you're looking for mentorship, how do you look at it? Something is valuable, and also when you're giving it, what deems value?
For me, value is translate to money. Like, how can you teach me how to make the money you're making? Give me the play. Give me the concept. So if I know you're running a podcast, how do you make money off podcasts? How do you make money off doing what you do? So for me, if I wanted to learn car rentals, like for myself, you're making $50K revenue. How do I do that? What did you do? What did you say to the investors? What insurance do you use? Like, I'm going to give you all that. If you're not going to pay me as a mentor, I'm not going to give you that. You're always going to be thinking, how's he doing that? How's he doing that? So now you don't got no value. But if you pay me and I'm your mentor, I'm going to give you everything so you can be successful, so you can exactly do what I do. It's like training with an NFL player. Like, I want to be in the NFL. I want to work out the way he works out. I want to run what he runs. I want to follow him. Like, a lot of people like, what's the Mike Tyson workout? I want to be like him.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing in business. Like, follow the success. If I'm successful in whatever I'm doing, do what I did. Okay, if I went from 4 to 40, how did I do from 4 to 40? I pitched all these investors. What did my social media look like? How did I talk to them? How did I present myself? All those things are value, and I think that's what would translate, which would then equal money for whoever's even following. Even if you get a piece of 50K, that's 10K.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you just even getting a little bit, just following a little bit would make you better than you was, because you went from 0 to what you 5,000, 10,000, whatever. How far you want to take it. You might pass 50, you might go to 100, but I gave you the blueprint, and it's up to you to take it. Now that's how I gauge my mentors. Like, what are you doing? Are you run credit? All right, cool. Help me get my credit score up. Help me fix my credit. Help me make more money. Okay, that's how I gauge it. Like, what value are you doing by actually showing me the ropes to get to your level?
Okay, makes sense. And speaking of credit, you touched on credit. That's why I see in your bio you say the number one credit. It's something about number one. Did you go out there and do a census to see if you were like the number one? Was it a competition? Was it an event and you Keyson came out number one? Like, how can you make such a bold statement that you the number one?
Because I believe, so I am. So I believe it in my head, so I'm going to be. Okay. So I think I put it out there saying I'm the number one because I want to make sure I am the number one by being the best customer service, the best credit repair, the best results. So it's like seeing and believing and then now fulfilling. So when you see number one, you're going to be, all right, I want him. Like when you type in Google, you look for the best car rentals, the number one is going to pop up. I'm going to be the one that pop up in your head. I'm the number one. Now it's my job to fulfill.
Timeline. How soon going to be number one?
I'm number one now.
I mess with it. Okay, so with that type of confidence, is that also what got you on like the stage of speaking at TEDx? That type of confidence?
For me, I just put myself out there. I feel like a lot of people are scared to put themselves out there. A lot of people are scared to talk. A lot of people are scared to do this. I feel like a lot of the time my confidence come from like, I remember back in the day, people would say, I have no shame. At the end of the day, y'all didn't know me before. Y'all didn't care about me. Y'all didn't know Keyson Dingle. Y'all didn't know KD Consulting. So I'm just putting it out there and whatever happens, happens. But at the end of the day, I try. Because if I don't try, I'm a nobody. I think that's the way I like to operate. Like, I have to try. Because y'all won't care if I do nothing. If I was broke in Jersey City,
nobody care.
Touching nickels together, y'all wouldn't care about me.
Yeah.
So, and it's the same thing. Like, why would I care about being scared to present myself? Why would I be scared about going after it? Because it's worse being at the bottom when nobody care about you. I'd rather be talked about. I was actually watching Amazing Spider-Man for real quick. For a quick second, I saw what's Jamie Foxx's character, right? I think he was Reptile or something. But in the beginning, it was funny because he kept saying, nobody knows me. Nobody cares about me. The Spider-Man popped in and was like, no, you're important. He's like, wow. He said, I'm important. And then when he got his superpowers to do, it was like, everybody's going to know me. So, like, basically he got, like, all this courage, just like, I want everybody to know my name type situation. I didn't even think about that. It's like, when nobody knew you, nobody cared. But now, like, I got the attention. I'm going to use it. Like, I'm going to leverage this attention and make something out of it. Because when I was nobody, I didn't care.
Squeeze as much juice out of it as possible.
Might as well.
Yeah, because attention in this era, attention is currency.
Correct.
Especially as you mentioned, like you said, some key things about having your system set up, having your back end, efficient. So once you get these opportunities of more awareness, more visibility, is that you capitalize on it, right? Mm-hmm. And Nip talks about that in the song. He talks about when opportunity meets preparation. Right. And that's where ideally you want to be, is making sure that you're prepared, because, once opportunity is going to eventually come to you, right? God willing, that he's going to put something in your face, and is that for you to be prepared to see it. One, visually see it and understand this is an opportunity. And then two, make sure you capitalize on it as much as possible.
Absolutely. And that's how I feel like I took over my business, because 2 years ago, Atlanta didn't know me. 2 years ago, my car rental business wasn't as good as it was now, but I had to put it out there. I had to show up. I had to go to all the masterminds, all the networking events, and just keep showing up. It's just like, I feel like a lot of people in America, and then across the world, not even just America, just a lot of people just don't show up. Yeah. Like, I feel like you could just beat people by just being there. You never even have to be the best. You just could just be there and you'll win. And I feel like a lot of people, I remember in football practice, there'd be a lot of people that they talk a good one, but they just skip the simple things of going to the workouts. That's the one thing you could just show up to. Just go to the workouts. But you don't even do that. So it's the same thing I see in corporate. They'll just do everything, but they'll skip meetings, or they'll skip learning, free learning. They'll just skip it. I'm going to everything. I'm going to all the workouts. And that's how I was actually the only captain of my high school football team. Because I was just always one. I always showed up. And I think that just speaks to the way I run my life. I always show up. And the consistency is going to always be. And I already was talented, thank God. But now I add consistency and discipline. It's kind of hard to beat.
No, it's super important in business, especially in small business and small Black-owned business, right? We get a lot of negative press as far as, like, I hate dealing with Black people. Like what happened over the last week with Keith Lee. I don't know if you've seen that. I've seen that. Him talking about the restaurants in Atlanta. What's been your experience since you got down from here to the A, from Jersey, and exploring this nightlife and going to restaurants? How's your customer service been?
I don't want to badmouth nobody, but it's been. Sometimes you get good restaurants. I feel like it's not even restaurant. It's the servers. Okay. They really the servers make or break the restaurant most of the time. The food would be okay. It'd be good, but like, the food can be bad, but the server can make the experience still good. Okay. And most of the food, especially the Black restaurants in Atlanta, I love it. I love eating out here in Atlanta. Jersey don't got that type of food. When I was in Philly, it don't got that type of food. So, I mean, even somebody might, like Keith Lee might, somebody say it's not as good to some people. It's good to me because, I just love lobster waffles. I love eggs. I love the brunches. I love the steaks. I love it all. So for me, like, I have all good experiences. I go out to eat a lot, so I enjoy it.
When you outside eating, are you going to these environments again? You say you're super intentional. Are you going solely for the food, or are you going for the ambiance, also the potential people that might be there? Are you making those type of moves?
I'm definitely going for the I look on TikTok and see what's the best restaurants. So I'm definitely going where the heavy hitters go. I'm definitely going where, like, I'll see Mr. Tweaks out go. Like, this is people that just they know in the spots and the ambiance. I definitely try to go for those places. Food wise, I'd like to go for top tier. I love like lobster mac and cheese, stuff like that. So I'm very intentional about where I go, but you won't catch me like, I try not to go like hole in the wall places that ain't like.
Can't go to the hole in the wall with all that on.
No, that's why I won't go. I'll order takeout.
Come and pick up, pull up. You're pulling up in one of the Uber whips.
Yeah.
You don't even know how I'm getting down like that.
Yeah, I come in with a hoodie. I got the athletic fit on. That's why I wear a little hoodie.
Low, super low. Nah, that's how you got to do it. So that's how you got to do it. One of the homies said, I was watching this pod, and they were talking about you can't sell a dream looking like a nightmare. Right? Would you say that the chains have helped you make more money, or it's been about the same? The ice, or like, what's the feel like? As the things elevated for you since you made these investments?
Absolutely, it's definitely increased my profits and sales. I don't know. I mean, I heard people say it before, but now I got it. It's very true. People love ice. People love lifestyle. Like, regardless of what people say, people really do love the lifestyle marketing. They love seeing it. Cause like, even for me, when I was didn't have it, I always like to see it. That was part of the reason I picked my mentor. Like, oh, he He got it. He got the Rolls Royce. He got the chain. He got the ice on the watch. That's my mentor. So it's just that's just the way we are. You know, I like it.
Is it us the way we are as people? Is us blacks? Is it people? Is it blacks?
I think
are the
it's black.
non-blacks seeing the ice and being like, all right, I see the ice and I want to tap in with you?
I think it's the blacks for sure. I think non-blacks, they don't just look at it as they're not attracted to it. They look at it as a waste of money. But like even on the business tip, you could write off a chain like KD Consulting. They got my brand on it. I could write this off. So for me, that's a business play. But and it increases my social proof, increases like people wanting to tap in with me, and it reduces my taxes. So it's kind of where you gotta look at it. But yeah, as a race, black people we definitely a little bit more like, yo, I wanna tap in with them. I just feel like they don't value that stuff as much.
Yeah,
that's all. Just different culture.
Different culture. We got a question from someone in the live. They said, this is from Infinity Links and Gucci. They're saying, how much is your mentorship?
My mentorship, right now I'm doing a sale for $2,000. And I'll include credit, car rentals, and you'll learn everything that I know. How to fix credit, how to run a car rental business, private, insurance, everything. Start from scratch, like with nothing, with credit, how to build up your credit, how to use business credit to start. So that's my mentorship price for today.
Okay, is that how long does that give them mentorship? Or is that a course?
It will give you mentorship. I'm doing lifelong. I want to build a community. So I have a course built up for you. So you'll get the course, and you'll get one-on-one coaching calls, like 3 times a week. We'll do some Zooms for 4 weeks, and then after that, you'll just have my line for ongoing coaching.
Okay, I like that. Lifetime. That's big.
Yeah,
that's big. And the aspect of a community is also important because getting the information is one thing, but most of these courses out there, essentially to me, are obstacle courses, right? And a course is supposed to lead you to a path or to your final, your destination, whatever you want to get to. So I like that you have that community aspect because it's forever changing, forever learning, and then it's not you being the holy grail of you being the omni of all knowledge. It's a collective of people giving game together. That's dope.
Yeah, I need to build a community so big because that's your money, that's your currency, your community. You could drop one. If you ever did clothing, you drop one piece of clothing in your community, they all want to tap in with you. Like I feel like community is so powerful. I can always teach them. They can always get new information. Hey, I just learned this. Check this new ebook out. Hey, learn this information with me. Hey, let's go do a mastermind in Puerto Rico together. So a community is so important. I can't wait to build that up even more.
The community aspect, usually we talked about exposure and taking inspiration. Was there anybody in particular that inspired you to do the community? And the reason why I asked that, because I noticed you're in a couple communities, right?
Yeah.
Like how has recession proof and EYL affected you in your life to make you want to even potentially do what you're doing? And has that helped you in business? Like what you say, you gain value from those two places?
Yeah, so community is very important. 2 things. The reason why community is important because, one, it puts you around like-minded individuals. So I'm the mentor, but people in my community also think like me. They have the same sauce, and we all growing and building together. It's like a football team. We're all striving for the same goal. We want to win. We want state championship. We want to win the national championship. So it's all fighting for the same goal. We all want to make